Hi everybody, this is Courtney with Twilight Treasures, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. So if you have any Stampin' Up! Needs, I can certainly hook you up with some products. So just leave me a comment down below and I will get with you and we'll get you started with whatever you need. So I am here today to share this gorgeous card with you, and I hope you like it. We're going to work through it together. Got a couple of little tips for you here and there. But anyway, so let's get started. I'm going to try and keep this on the camera area, but I'm not sure where that is. So if it goes off of there, I'm sorry. Anyway, because I do need some room to work. All right. I've got my pieces all kind of ready to go. There's a lot of stuff I've done ahead of time. But I've got, this is soft suede cardstock. And it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to do it portrait style. And then I've got a piece of gold foil cardstock, and that is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I've got one piece of Very Vanilla that is cut, well, that's not the right one, but it's cut to 5 by 3 3/4. And that we're going to emboss on, and I have already embossed on it with the Merry Melody embossing folder, if I can find it. This is new in the holiday catalog, which is good through December of 2021. So a little more time to get that, but it turns out gorgeous. You'll be able to see it better when we put the, I'm going to put some soft suede with my blending brush onto the embossed card, and just very lightly to just give it kind of an aged patina look to it. Okay. And then I've got various different, I've got an envelope here that we're going to decorate. But I've got things for the sentiment and for Stampin' Up! All the different leaves that we're going to use to make all this beautiful foliage on here. So we're going to do all that. Anyway, so let's get started. And what we're going to be using are, of course, the Merry Melody embossing folder, which I've already done, so I'm not going to run that through. And I've got the Free as a Bird set where I just took a sentiment out of there, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. And also the one that we're kind of focusing on is Forever Fern, and I've used quite a few of the leaves out of here. And also the dies that come in this set. So I've got my things already mounted on acrylic blocks. And I've got some of the dies out of here too. And these dies and stamps come separate. They used to be bundled in the last catalog, but they are separate now. So you can get the stamps and then a set of dies if you want those. Okay. So that's what we're going to be using. So first thing I want to do, let me get the envelope out of the way. First thing I want to do is show you a good way to save the middle of your card. Since this is only going to be a frame for the Very Vanilla, okay, we don't need but so much of it to show. There's no use wasting all this gold foil in the middle. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get out my trimmer. Oops, sorry. Get out my trimmer, and I want to cut a 1/2 inch just to make sure that I'm not going to be messed up trying to glue this down to a tiny little area. I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch in all the way around, so you'll have a big piece of gold in the middle you can use on another card. Okay, and in order to do that, I'm going to get the trimmer, and you can see on here, I'm going to use this the right hand side here, and I'm going to take my gold foil and I'm going to push it out to the 1/2 inch mark. Here's the inch. These are in metrics, I think. This is the 1/2 inch mark. I mean the inch mark. I'm going to pull it out to a 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my blade down, and before I put it down, you can see, let me take this off. You can see on the ruler here that you've got from 0 to 12 inches on the trimmer. Okay, a little guide right here. It's a ruler on the edge of the platen that goes down. And on the blade, you've got little lines that show you exactly where your blade is in relation to this ruler on the guide here. Okay, so I want to make sure that my line is showing that I'm at a 1/2 inch here. So I'm going to go in a 1/2 inch on here, like that, and then I'm on a 1/2 inch here, so I'm going to drop that down, and I want to cut down to within a 1/2 inch of this end, and this is a 5 1/4 piece of cardstock, so I want to cut down to the 4 3/4 mark on this ruler. So I'm going to come down here and stop when my little line here shows that I'm at the 4 3/4. So I'm going to slice down here to the 4 3/4. And then I'm going to lift up. I'm going to turn this around the other way. And I'm going to bring it out again to the 1/2 inch mark here. Make sure I'm in the right place. And I'm already at 4 3/4 here. So drop that down, and then I'm going to slice up to the 1/2 inch mark on my ruler. Right there. I think I might have gone too far, but that's all right. And then I'm going to turn it a 1/4 turn here, and I'm going to come out again to the 1/2 inch mark. And this time I'm already at the right place, but this is a 4 inch piece, so I'm going to cut down to 3 1/2. Okay. I'll cut down to my little line on here shows me that I'm at 3 1/2. You can kind of feel it hit the other one. And then I'm going to turn it again, and I'm already at 3 1/2. I'm going to bring this out to the 1/2 inch mark, and I'm going to bring this to, oh yeah, duh. I'm going to bring this to the 1/2 inch mark on my ruler here, like so. And then I'm going to slice over until I hear this, the end of it. Oh, nope, I did it wrong. Okay, I want to cut here. So we're going to bring that at the 1/2 inch. This is already at my 1/2 inch here, and I'm going to cut over to 3 3/4. So I'm going to come over here, and you can kind of feel it click too. I went a little too far. But then you pull this out, and you have a frame for the card we're going to do here. But you've got this whole piece that you can use on another project. So you haven't wasted all that gold foil since it's at a premium. So that's all our cutting. Let me get that out of here. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. All it is is a frame for my Merry Melody to go on there. So it'll go like so, and we'll have gold foil around the edges and this in the middle. But we're going to work on this in a little bit. So let me go ahead and glue this down. Get out my Tombow green glue. Get that going. Like so. Get that down as straight as I can. And with the glue here, we get to move it around a little. Looks pretty good. So go ahead and do that and try really hard like I just did, not to do what I just did and get glue on the foil, because it does not come off easily. And it will show. But, okay, we're going quick. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, and then I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to work on our Merry Melody embossing. You'll go ahead and emboss your 5 by 3 3/4 sheet of vanilla cardstock, and then you will get out your soft suede ink pad. Let's open that up if I can. And a blending brush. These are just some I got off of Amazon, so these are not in our catalog. There are blending brushes in the catalog that are wonderful. I've got one here, which is this one, which I've got to clean up. They are much larger than the ones I got, it's really nice because it covers a lot easier. But I've already got this one with my brown, and these are the ones I've got have little colored handles, so they come that way, and it helps me know I'm going to use this only on browns. So I'm going to ink that up, and then I'm going to bring it over, and with a really light hand, I just want this ink to get on the top on the embossed areas. So I'm just going to brush it over very lightly, just to get a little hint of the color there to make it look like a little aged patina on the embossing. Okay, I don't want it to go too much onto the cardstock itself down below. I just want it on the raised parts. And of course I'm going to get some on the other, but that's okay. But just keep inking it up. And I think that looks pretty good. Get a little bit on the edges here. Okay, and that's all I want. So we're finished with that for the moment. Put that aside. And then instead of going on and adhering this here, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to go on and get my leaves and everything attached on there before I put it on the card, just in case I mess up. Then I'll just mess this up and not everything else. So I'm going to put that aside. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to put that aside for a few minutes, and we are going to get out some scratch paper, vanilla, very vanilla, okay? And I want to stamp a lot of these are the berries And I've got several of the leaves stamps from the Forever Fern that I want to stamp up. Okay, so we're going to just on scratch paper, and then I'm going to use the dies to cut them out. And I have already done that, but I used Mary Merlot for my berries. And what I would say is go ahead and stamp a few of them, you know. And I used for the Mary Merlot, I liked it as I tried it where I stamped off and then onto the paper, and I liked it better at full strength because it makes it pop on the card a little bit better. So I'm going to try and get as many things on here as I can, but I've got to leave room for the die to go over top of it too. So I'm going to do a couple of those and leave it on there for a few seconds so it soaks into the paper. You get a really good crisp image. Okay, and then I'm going to switch over and I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. And I'm going to stamp the larger of the leaves. First I'm going to do this one here. Stamp just a few. And this, again, you can stamp off and make it lighter if you want to. I tended to like the full strength of all of these. And then I'm going to stamp a couple of those. I'm going to stamp them the other way, see how many I can fit on here. And if you need a whole sheet of vanilla, that's okay too. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, and I'll get this one going the other way. Like so. Didn't use my space wisely there, did I? And then I've got another kind of leaves for my big area. So I'll do a couple of those, like so. Maybe like that. And leave it on there just to get a good image. And then one more set of leaves. Got these here. Okay, get that inked up really good. Try to keep your fingers out of it. One more. Okay, since we're going to have two sides to all of these, we're going to have, two of each of the berries, two of these leaves, two of the Pear Pizzazz, and then these gold leaves are from a set that I've had for a long time, and I have no idea where I got it, but I love the leaves. They're kind of cut out, very, very pretty. And these are cut out of my gold glimmer paper. So I don't have any of that right here because I've already cut all these out. But that's just any leaves would do. Any kind of cut out pretty frilly leaves would do just fine. Something like this would even look nice if you had something, I don't know what set that's from either. But anyway, had it for a long time. Just any leaves that are pretty and frilly would be perfect. Okay. And actually, what I meant to do, since you'll see from here, the bigger leaves here are Pear Pizzazz. These are garden green. I meant to do these in garden green, so forgive me. I didn't. But anyway, so I would take those and I would line up with my dies on each of these the right way, like so. And I'm not going to go through trying to line them all up for you. You get the idea. And on my berries. Okay, and then on this one, and then I would take this all to my die machine and I would cut those out, and then I'd do it on the other ones, and then I'd have all my pieces. And by the magic of TV, I do have all my pieces right here. Okay, got all my little gold leaves. Let me get them over here. I only need a couple of those, but I'll bring them all over. And I've got some berries. Okay, so we're all done with that. Now, in order to piece them all together, I do it so I'm not, getting halfway through and going, shoot, I wish I'd done that over a little further. I kind of place them on here, and you can see this is going to be, whoop, here we go. This is going to be like so. So you can let them hang over a bit to get off the edges. It'll be fine. But I'm going to go ahead and put these on a little at a time on this, just on my Merry Melody embossed area. Okay. So I'm going to place this one here. And place this one down here, and I'm just kind of laying them on here. I'm not gluing them down yet, just placing them on. And like I said, you can let them hang over a little bit. You've got plenty of room like that. And then I'll put these on. I'll put that, maybe I'll do this one this way, and then over here, and like so. Maybe I'm letting it hang off a little too much, but I'm going to keep going here. You get the idea. Like so. And then what I like to do is wait on my gold leaves and kind of tuck those in where they fit after I get these all together. So what I'm going to do, and then I'm sorry, also we should have stamped on a little scrap sheet of paper our sentiment, okay? And I got that from the Freeze a Bird set, and it says, "To a friend that makes me smile." I thought that was wonderful. So we're just going to put that on the outside, and so I've just stamp it, and then I've got a punch, which I think is discontinued, but this is like the Everyday Label punch that I think is still in the catalog. It's very similar size, so any label would do. And that punch that out, which I've already done, so you don't have to wait for me to do that. And then you're going to use that to go and center it here and show, okay, that looks pretty nice. And then I'm going to just kind of throw my gold leaves in when I'm ready. Okay, so now it's all kind of set up. So we'll take that out. And then I like to do them, like pick it up exactly like I've got it here and spread them just a little bit out. And then get my glue. And I'm going to use my extra little glue bottle here. And put a little bit of glue back behind here. Come on, just a little bit there. Stick that one down. And then a little bit of glue back here. Stick that one down. And that can kind of be used as one piece now. If I want to spread it out a little, I can. Throw that there. And then same thing with this one. So, pull them out, just kind of mess that up, like so, and not too spread, but there we go, okay, and then again, pull behind here. It's kind of hard to do, I feel like I gotta be double jointed. Put a little bit of glue back there, and, ooh, I didn't leave myself much room there. All right, then let's put a little bit of glue right here. Okay, and then those three are together. Okay, now I can use them as one piece, and it's a lot easier to deal with. So, put them on here, see if I need to mess them up a little. Yep, that's going to look pretty good. Okay, so now that I've got those like I want them, I'll go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the back here. So I'm going to make sure they stay down, and I'm going to get my silicone sheet so I don't get glue everywhere. And put a little glue on all of these places, if it'll come out. And I want the edges to be sort of free, so I'm going to let them stay down. And then I'm going to push this one up here in that corner, sort of centered towards the middle. Ooh, that's not sticking. Okay, that's not going to work. All right, let's try our green glue. Maybe I need a bigger swath of that. Because I do want it to stick. All right, and I'll go ahead and stick that down like so. Hold that for a minute. And then we'll put this one down. Get a little glue on there. And we'll stick this one down. Again, kind of pointed towards the middle, but towards the corner as well, like that. Maybe a little further down, like that. Okay, looking good. All right, and then now that we've got that done, I'm going to get my sentiment, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on. But what I want to do first is I want to age this a little bit with a little patina. So I'm going to get out my soft suede again, and my blending brush, and whoops, didn't mean to drop it in the ink. And then I'm going to just very lightly go over this just to give it a little bit of an aged look, a little patina to it so it doesn't look so stark against everything else. Okay, we're done with that. And I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on this. Get that popped up. I've got glue all over my fingers now. There we go. One more. Take our little backs off. I could have done this before y'all got here too, couldn't I? Oh well. Alright. Get that. That as kind of centered as I can. Like so. And then I'm ready to put this on our card. So I'm going to put some glue on here. Except it's not working now. There we go. And I always like to use glue when I've done something embossed because it gets kind of down into the nooks and crannies a little bit better. Because it's not just a flat surface. And hopefully there's not too much. It's not going to gush. But let's give it a try. And we're going to put it on the gold foil. Center it as much as I can. And then just kind of hold it for a minute. And then I always turn things over the other way. Oh, got glue on there. And then with my bone folder, I like to kind of spread it so it gets that glue really adhered to the front, but I haven't smashed everything. And there's that. And then I'm going to embellish it with, oh, got glue all over me, some of these champagne rhinestone basic jewels, which are also in the main catalog, the annual catalog. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool, and I'm just going to put a few of these around. Take, whoops, take it off there, and put one up here. And, oop, I keep popping them. And one down here. And I think I'm going to use one way up here. Ooh, didn't mean for it to go there. There we go. And yeah, use one. I'll use one down here. And I think that's enough. Well, maybe one more. Just one more. Do one right here. One right here. Okay, and there we go for that. Okay, so there's the front, and then of course we need to do the inside. So for the inside, I've just done "Your friendship means the world to me," and again I've kind of used my blending brush on the very vanilla cardstock, so that when this goes inside, it's going to have "Your friendship means the world to me" stamped here. And then all patinaed with the soft suede and your blending brush. And then I just stamped some of the berries inside. So I'm going to do that. I'm just using a residual ink here. So I'm going to put this here. And I used these leaves here. And just put a little bit off to the side. And then I will go in with my saying in soft suede. Let me get my sheet back out here. This has got glue everywhere. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do my, whoops, yes. Your friendship means the world to me. And that came from the Free as a Bird set. And I'm going to get my soft suede out again. And I will try to get this straight if I can, without getting it everywhere else. Hold it there for a second so it transfers really good. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and, again, I'm going to age this a bit so it matches everything else. You don't have to. You could just put it in without that. And I'll just do the edges this time. Just to give it a little bit of an aged look. Just kind of rub there. Okay. And then I'm going, oops. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here. Okay. Where's my card? Where's my card? I lost my card. Okay, here it is. And open that up. Put that in here, like so. Okay, and there we go. There's our card inside. And then, of course, we want to do our envelope. So I'm going to really quick do the envelope, and then we're all finished. So let's do our Pear Pizzazz with our leaves. I'm just going to do it down in the left-hand corner here. A little off on both sides. And then Mary Merlot. And we'll do our berries. And stamp that here. And we are all set. Okay. So, we've got our envelope. We've got our card. To a friend that makes me smile, and your friendship means the world to me. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got a couple extra little tips, particularly on how to save some of your foil from the middle, since you don't have to have anything more than a frame for it. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you'll come back and visit, and I will be back with another video in probably a week or so. I'm going out of town this week later on, and won't be back for a while, so I will get back with you when I return from my little vacation. All right, thanks for joining us. Thanks. Bye-bye.